following up to Dawn's question, did you want me to research other districts and get comps and that?
I guess what's the, what are you looking for,
I mean, all districts in our state are facing teacher effectiveness and the same strength that we are. And then we're talking about having declining enrollment, having to watch our funds, and then looking at adding an administrative position. So I'm just curious of other ways that districts may be addressing it, or those things that make more cost savings.
like the high school is just adding more and more hours, just make people work extra to do their teacher, educator effectiveness. It really comes down to it's a lot of workload.
Right. I mean, I understand what's involved being in elementary school, but just looking at that.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to be the maximum of the job.
Schools don't have principals that are.
That's just the system.
Not 3/4. That's what.
I look at this, yes, it'll be good to have a little bit more administrative horsepower available for this stuff, but I really want to see having some tutorage by our gifted principals within our system so that they can hit the ground running as opposed to being thrown in without any background, with minimal experience. So
But not knowing when they are going to retire, would it also be beneficial to put something at the, some kind of agreement with them? They do decide that for a certain amount of time that they would, mentor, whatever word you would want to put on it on the other side, which may be cost savings too. Because the teachers already in the administrative program do take days to go shadow the other principals regarding that. So they are getting some definitely through their coursework, and they have certain hours that they have to fill for that. So I just wonder if there's other ways to look at it regarding that too. Because of course they definitely have had expertise and have been doing this for years, and we want to keep that consistency. But I just wonder if there's a different way to approach it that maybe cost savings.
Well, the question is, in our vicinity, I mean, it should be easy to find out how many assistant principals there are.
Sure.
Maybe what we should do is just do a look-see to see how many assistant principals there are, what is the age of the existing principals in their work years, and thereby how we correlate to that. Is that a lot of stuff to go through?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
I guess.
But it may be easy to come by.
Sure it is. What I'm struggling with is we've talked about this.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I don't have a problem with this job description.
No, I'm not talking about the job description. We've talked about this as a group.
Yeah.
And now there's hesitation.
Yeah.
And I guess three-fourths of our administrative group could retire tomorrow if they wanted to. Granted, they have to give 2 months notice or whatever the language of the contract is. And the best piece is that we've got 8, 9, 10 people that have gone through the cohort program, in addition to people that are already certified that didn't go through this cohort program. And for transition purposes, to me, it's just best to have people that are already in the system,
I understand that.
in the succession piece.
I think
I mean, if you want me to go get comps, I'll do that with all due respect, but I'm puzzled or baffled by the hesitation.
I always like comparisons, but I think we're early in the game for comparisons. I'm not sure the comparisons would be meaningful enough. And I think our situation is what it is, and we should move forward.
I agree.
I would agree with you. And I take that, and I won't say I like it, Bob, I take that more coming from you, because you've been in the management of that.
Comparisons are always great.
You know what it is to have a lot of folks to manage, so I would agree with that.
I especially like this idea of part-time or half-time assistant principals. I know that we have a number of people coming up through that program, and I was a little concerned about having only one position open. So this this too, so that's, I think, a positive.
Okay, so as it sits right there, this is the draft of this here. Does anybody see anything to modify in this draft? Other than, we had heard 7 years. I think 5 years is adequate. Any feelings on that, Doug?
I think 5 years is fine.
Dawn?
I think 5 years is fine. I would look at the within. At some point, and it may not be that you have this number of candidates within.
Well, that's the thing. But I would hope that once we have the system, we would have at least a few out of that we would want to be proceeding into a system position, thereby giving them something to look forward to of why they're in the system in the first place, going towards that goal. What I'm interested though is that once people are into this position, did we have something we're putting in place where we have some signed long-term thing? Dibs on them, I don't all of a sudden teach everybody's assistant principals and they all go out to
Yeah, that's in place.
surrounding districts
Yeah.
after our great principals have taught them. So not that it wouldn't benefit everybody else in the area, but we're trying to help out our own school districts. So that being the case, I would go forward with this as written. What do you think, Paul?
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
If it only said 7 years.
It's all right.
Okay. Now this is just the assistant principal job description draft, which you're going to put to the board, I would assume, for final vote on that.
Some of the
Is that?
language you have to call out is that it's a half position. I'm not sure how it's worded, if it gets put into this or it gets put into another document.
Yeah, I don't think we modify that on the description of it. But what I would do, this goes into an existing policy, right? We have a policy with a description. So that's really a revision of policy. And we're really, that's all we're doing.
Or an extra one.
Right? Well, I don't know, one way or the other yet. But, now this is the job description approval. This is not necessarily the job approval, meaning the hiring approval. Yeah, are you looking for that as a separate issue right now? That's what I'm saying.
After the board approves this next week, I was
Yeah.
intending to post the positions,
Okay.
because I'd like those people identified before the end of the school year,
Okay.
for some of the stuff that we have planned after the school year, as far as the, makeup days for teachers. We've got some things planned. It'd be great to have those leadership people in that capacity, or in those roles.
Okay, but what I'd rather see then is a separate approval on description, separate approval on the actual ability to, expenditure for clearing. I mean, they're really two separate things.
Well, you would still have to approve the contracts.
You would, but kind of it's a pre-approval for you saying that this is already approved for the expenditure. You don't want to go and get somebody all wrapped up and have a contract ready to rock and roll, and everybody says, no, I don't.
Next week, there should be 2 line items. One is initial review of the policy, and you should probably have a policy attached to it. And then initial approval for hiring part-time assistant principals.
Good.
Good.
Anything else, any other discussion? Okay, in that case, motion adjourned. I'll move. Okay, P and F is adjourned.